All right, let's go ahead and get tuned up. In this song, I'm tuned down a half step, so that means all the strings are 1 fret lower than they normally would be. So E is E flat, B is B flat, and so on all the way down. So that's what we'll be doing. If you're tuning to an electronic tuner, you know, when you hit the E string, just make sure it says E flat. Same thing on the B string, B flat, then G flat, and so on. All right, so we'll start with the first string, E. And it's an E flat, but I'll just say the letter names. So E, first string. B, second string. G, third string. D, fourth string. A, fifth string. And the low E, sixth string. And again, remember, we're tuned down a half step, and that does two things for us. It gives us more of a blues sound because the strings are looser. It also makes it a lot easier to bend. And there's a lot of bending. Sometimes we have to bend with our first finger. Even some of those, you need 2 fingers to bend this because they can be pretty harsh, going up a step or a step and a half. So having that half step down tuning really gives you the ability to bend the strings. It also gives you a slightly different sound because the strings are loose. And I think it gives you a more authentic blues sound. So anyway, Hendrix tuned that way, Stevie Ray tuned that way. A lot of players from the 60s and 70s tuned to that half step down. So you'll hear that a lot in recordings. So anyway, let's go ahead and go into the licks section, and or rather the technique section. We're going to go over a few techniques that you need to know before we get started with the actual lessons. Okay? So I'll see you there. Okay, in this section we're going to talk about bends and vibratos. That's probably the 2 most important techniques that you need for blues. So let's start with that. And the first way to practice a bend, we're going to practice at the 3rd string, 5th fret, and I'm going to bend the note with my 3rd finger. And we're just going to practice bending up a whole step. What that means is going up 2 frets. So this is the note we're going to bend, the note at the 5th fret, but I want it to sound like this note up here at the 7th fret. So I'm just going to kind of slide up to that first, get the sound in my ear, and then try to bend up to it. Now the way I'm getting the bend, just so you'll know, it's not just my 3rd finger pushing the note. I'm pushing with all 3 fingers. I'm putting my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd finger down, kind of hanging my thumb over the top of the neck a little bit. And what that does is enables me to push up with all 3 fingers. And really, it's not even the fingers pushing, it's really my hand. I'm just kind of stiffening my fingers and then pushing my hand upward. So it's never the individual fingers doing it, it's just the whole hand. So it's kind of like, if I take my hand away from the neck, it's sort of like I'm squeezing the neck like this. I'm squeezing my fingers toward one another. And that's what's happening here. You can kind of see it right here, where my thumb and fingers come together. So I'm squeezing the neck, just trying to bring the fingers up to the thumb. And the trick to this is to get it right on the note. I'm using a light gauge set of strings, so you know that's what I'm used to playing on. And if you're used to playing on 9s or whatever it is you're used to playing, use those strings. So we're starting out trying to play the note first, hearing the note, and then trying to hit it right on. You can hear when you've hit the note correctly, and what you're trying to do is just memorize what that feels like. All right, and you know, you don't always hit it right on. It's kind of hard to do that, but just keep practicing it, and you'll get better. A lot of the licks we play anyway are played fast, so it won't matter if you hit it exactly. It could be a little off, and nobody will even notice. Like that lick right there, I didn't hit that the same any of those times, but it all sounded the same. So it's fine. And that's the way most of these bends are going to be like that. But sometimes you'll have a bend that sustains like that. And this is using the same 3-finger bend, except it's on the first string. So I'm playing from the 8th fret up to the 10th. I want the 8th fret to bend to sound like this note. All right, the other thing we can do is we can try to hit the note first and then check it by going up a whole step and see if we made it.